students, we will continue with our chapter cooperative society, and today I am going to discuss the distinction between a cooperative society and a joint stock company. And there are 11 points of distinction. I will discuss all these points one by one, but for this video class I have taken only 3 points of distinction. The first one is basic object. The basic object of a joint stock company is to make profit, whereas the basic object of a cooperative society is to provide service to the members. Next, number of members. Let us see the difference between cooperative society and a joint stock company with reference to the number of members. We know it very well that a joint stock company can be a private company or a public company. So in private company, minimum 2 members are required to start a private company. Minimum 7 members are required to start a public company. Maximum for private company, the limit is 200 members. For public company, the maximum limit is not there. Next, for cooperative society, minimum 10 members are required to start a cooperative society. Maximum, no limit. Cooperative society is not having any limit for maximum members. Next, but there is a limit on credit cooperative. Credit cooperative can have only 100 members. Next one is members liability. Members liability. The members of a joint stock company is having limited liability to the extent of the face value of the shares held by them or the guarantees given by them. Though the company is having unlimited liability, but the members of a joint stock company will have limited liability to the face value of the shares held by them or the guarantees given by them. Next, for cooperative society, generally the liability of a member is limited. So these are the first 3 points of distinction between a company and a cooperative society. Now students, let us see the 4th point of distinction. The 4th point of distinction is membership. Question arises how a person can join cooperative society. The membership of a cooperative society is open at all times, and any person can join the cooperative society by paying the amount per share, the same amount per share what old ones have paid to join the cooperative society. In contrast to this, the joint stock company closes the list of members as and when the capital is fully subscribed. This is all about the membership. The next point is management and control. In cooperative society, the management is democratic because each member is having one vote and there is no question of proxy. In a company, the number of vote depends on the number of shares held by the members and the proxies held by the members. Next one is distribution of surplus. The joint stock company distributes its surplus in the form of dividend, which depends on the contribution made by the members as capital. And in cooperative society, a minimum amount of surplus has to be kept aside for reserves as well as for the welfare of the public, and the distribution of surplus is in accordance with the patronage of the members in the cooperative society. So this is all about distribution of surplus. Students, let us see about the share capital, that how many number of shares a member can purchase. In a company, a member can have any number of shares, but an individual cannot have more than 10% of the total shares or shares worth rupees 1000 in a cooperative society. Moreover, if a company is issuing new shares, it will have to issue to the existing members. But in cooperative society, the membership is always open for the new members. Subscription is always open for the new members. So one can understand from this point that company is a capitalistic in nature, whereas cooperative society is socialistic in nature. So this is all about share capital. Next, transferability of interest. A member is free to transfer his interest, his shares in a company, while in a cooperative society, a member cannot transfer his interest. Rather, he can return it back to the society when he withdraws his membership. Next, the member can anytime leave the cooperative society, just giving a proper notice. But in case of company, a member cannot ask the company to return back the amount of capital, because it is only returned back in the case of liquidation of the companies. So this is all about transferability of interest. Next one is coverage. A cooperative society covers membership of a local area, but members of a company are from different parts of the country and they are even from the abroad. So this is all about share capital, transferability of interest and coverage. Now students, let us see the exemption and privilege of company and a cooperative society. A cooperative society enjoys several exemptions and privileges related to income tax and stamp duty. But this kind of privileges and exemptions are not allowed to joint stock company. Next, government statute. Government statute. A company is regulated by the Companies Act 2013, whereas a cooperative society is regulated under the Cooperative Societies Act 1912. So these are the various points of distinction between a company and a cooperative society. In this way or on this basis, a cooperative society and a joint stock company can be differentiated.